I bet you didn't expect to see Pajama Sam footage in the background, but that's what we're doing today. When I was younger, I owned a Windows XP computer, very old. It's basically ancient technology at this point, and I'm sure a lot of us did too. And naturally, I played humongous entertainment games like you see in the background right now. It was a lot of fun. And of course, because Windows XP computers are so old, they weren't really meant to run any serious games, just minor stuff like this. Eventually, I grew up, I got a little bit older, and I started playing Minecraft on a very weak laptop that could barely run the game. I mean, it could run it, but I had to have low settings and play at a low frame rate, like 20, maybe 15 FPS. I was happy to play the game, but on a laptop so weak, not even a proper PC, it was a very minimal, overall, pretty lame experience, but I dealt with it because I was a little kid with no job, and this is the best I got. And because me and my parents knew basically nothing about computers, I eventually did beg them to buy me a stronger computer so I could play Minecraft better. And because none of us knew what we were doing, we got what was essentially a non upgrade. It was better, but it was still a laptop, and the laptop barely performed better on the game. I mean, yes, it was an improvement. I did get a little bit better FPS, but I was still like, wow, that's it. I was expecting a bigger jump than this. But that's what happens when you have no computer knowledge and your family doesn't either. You don't really know what you're doing. Eventually, I was able to play Minecraft on my father's desktop computer, which, I mean, even though it was a desktop, it still wasn't great. It was better than what I had before, and it could run Minecraft okay, like decently. I was getting 60 FPS at like low, medium-ish settings, so it was better than nothing, and it was certainly a lot better than what I had before. But I still couldn't really play any serious game, especially when my sister was introducing me to Steam games she was playing, and the frame rate was just abysmal. Like the CPU just could not handle the game at a decent FPS. Like we're talking 10 to 15 FPS. No one's going to play a game like that. It was just really, really sad. Many years went by. Eventually, I got a job. I grew up a lot, became an adult, got enough money, and finally bought a proper gaming PC, which is the one I currently have right now. But it's still not the best I could have. In fact, it's far from the best I could have. Basically, in 2023, I decided that I was sick of not having a computer. Doing YouTube was next to impossible. I couldn't do everything on my phone anymore, and I was just sick of it. I had enough. I'm like, I need to just dump money into a better computer, like a really good one. So I bought a Ryzen 5 3600 PC with an RTX 3060, which is pretty strong. I mean, that's like rock solid computer parts, and it can even play the Wilds beta. But here's the thing, it still can't play it that well, and I understand it is a beta, and the full game is better optimized, so my PC should be able to run the game fine. But you might be wondering why I'm saying all this. Didn't I just make a few videos a couple months ago talking about how I was going to upgrade to a 40 series card, a Ryzen 7 CPU, and a 1440p monitor to play Wilds better? Why am I even making this video? Did my plans change? And as I speak from, I guess, a third person or second person perspective, I will tell you that, yes, my plans have in fact changed. I am no longer going to upgrade my PC. I'm going to get a completely brand new one. And not just a new PC, the strongest PC I can possibly obtain with 2025 hardware. Now that I actually know how PCs work, how the components work, and have sufficient knowledge to make good purchasing decisions, the 5090 just released today. Literally, the 5090 is out now. And I don't just want a 5090. I also want AMD's newest CPU, the Ryzen 9 9950X3D. I want that PC not only to have those two computer parts, but also 4 terabyte SSD and 64 gigabytes of RAM. Because I want a 4K 60 FPS gaming setup, and honestly, I'm just tired of settling for less. I want the big stuff. I want the big boy stuff. I want literally max power NASA PC. I don't care how long it takes me to save up the money for it. This is what I want. Why bother upgrading when I get a cracked out PC and be set for so many years? It's just a no-brainer. So that's what I'm going to do. After all this time, so much experience with computers, and always striving to have the best hardware possible, I'm not just going to play Wilds. I'm going to play it with a 4K 60 FPS setup. That said, I'm not going to be able to afford that until probably the end of the year, which means I will have to play the game with what I have now, a Ryzen 5 3600 and RTX 3060, which should be fine. It should be acceptable. I'm not super thrilled about it, but given what I'm working towards, I will have this infinitely better PC by the time Wilds Ultimate releases. In fact, long before, most likely. So, yeah, not a very long video, but I just kind of wanted to, talk about my history with computers and my quest for PC gaming perfection. So, while I will be playing Wilds with my weaker PC, yes, I know it's kind of silly. I bought this 2019 PC in 2023, but both me and Zia weren't entirely informed, and she's the one who recommended this PC to me. I don't blame her. I blame kind of us for just not having sufficient knowledge. But now that we do have the knowledge, and Zia has made her own upgrades, I will be joining her later this year with the best PC I possibly can. It's kind of cool. It means when I get this computer and I get this 4K monitor, you're going to see quality settings on my videos that let you go up to 1440p and 4K, which is really cool. That's a nice privilege that's going to be very expensive to afford, but nonetheless, I am very excited for it. So that's about it. Just, yeah, I have nothing else to say. That's the video.